This is our, in spite of what my thing says, 16, our 14th. We had 14 previous sessions, and this is our 15th, and glad you're here to join us. We're currently running about 30% or so first-timers. So first-timers, raise your hands. Thank you for coming. Enjoy. Now, for those first-timers, and everyone else can listen in just as well, this started because I thought we needed a place where we could all get together and hang out and talk tech and not have vendors bug us. Now, we do let the vendors bug you at night, but that's totally your choice if you want to go to the vendor things. But during the sessions, they're not vendor sponsored. There's no little vendor booths or anything. There's just time for people to be people and hang out. A lot of you work for vendors. Thank you for coming. We like that. And just share with your friends. Now, I say it's all about the people because that's the whole reason we're here. The reason we do the things we do in the evenings, just so you can hang out. Now, I did a social experiment last night. I walked around to a bunch of groups that were just standing around talking and was pleased to find almost every group I looked at had an opening in their group. So if you're new and you walk into a little group, just walk in and take your place. You belong to be here just as much as anyone else. If they're having a discussion you like, butt in. Okay, don't be rude, but you can join in. If you're in a group and you're with some friends, try to not close off your group because we're here to help everyone. Now, on your badges, did anyone figure out what the number was for? It was previous, but it was based on what you answered on the registration page, so it might not match perfectly. I answered all of them, and I got a 16, so I guess those are the two that I did during COVID that no one saw. It was just me hanging out, having a little time in the backyard. There's also a little color code, and try to respect that for people who are here and who knows who's immunocompromised or they have family members that are. If they've got blue, just give them their space. If they're green, Sam will give them a hug. Special hug, but other than that, Devin's good at hugging too, so we got the huggers out there. And yellow's just kind of in between, fist bump or whatever. So, thanks for coming. We're running a little less than we did 2 years ago, and that's okay. It's COVID time, and I was just lucky enough to not buy too many seats, too many hotel rooms, because we got enough people to cover the hotel costs, so then I can relax. Thanks go out to Matthew, who's not here. He had to go run and do stuff. Yay, Matthew. And Fernay, of course. Stand up, Fernay. Fernay's... You will hear Fernay's voice all the time. 5 minutes to go, except for with a little Spanish accent. So, I like that.
5 minutes.
There you go, just like that. So, when he says that, that really means you're going to have a chance at a prize really soon. And Tawny and Sam, where'd Sam's there? They've been fantastic volunteers and coordinator. And Menon, where'd she go? See, she's doing her thing now. So, if you see Menon, give her thanks. Oh, way over there. Hi there. So, and lots of other volunteers have come and helped do their different things. So, this obviously couldn't be done without all of you coming, but all of the volunteer support we have. So, we had 11 boot camp sessions. All the boot camp people, raise their hands. We had 38% of the people attending came to boot camp. That was something, and for the newbies, how we run this, we ask our attendees what they want, and then give it to them. So that's just kind of how it works. So if you want something, ask. We'll try it. We've tried some things in the past that didn't work out so well. Odroid and a bad memory, yes. But it's improved so much, you'll see today. We have 10 deep dive options you've signed up for. If you signed up for a deep dive, it's on your pass. Please go to the one that's on your pass. Don't try to switch things. We had to order gear for each of those deep dives. Some of them were months ago, and so we don't have student kits if you switch your labs. So if you show up and you take someone else's, that's just not fair. So there's not extras. So whatever you're assigned, go to that one, and if you want to go to another one, come back to another day and vote for it. So if you like a deep dive and you want another one, the next time it comes up, vote for it, and you're going to have a chance for it. And the one thing I like about this conference is, Rasika, you're a perfect person for this. Look to your left. How many people do you see? How many do you see on your right? So of the 5 of you, 1 of you is going to present. So out of every table, someone on the table is presenting. We have 20% of our people doing presentations. This is you guys just talking to yourselves, and we get a chance to come in and listen in. The agenda. You were supposed to get it in your attendee bag last night, and I found out you didn't. So Matthew went to get something, and he will be emailing you a PDF of it all together. It's pretty good, but unlike many other conferences, it flexes a lot. Ben doing our video back there. Prime Image guys, wave. Yay. They're doing great. They do a fantastic job. We'll have all of the videos. Thanks. We'll have all the videos up in probably middle to end of next week up on YouTube. And so I figure knowledge is kind of like manure. Okay. If you spread it around, it helps things grow. If you just hang on to it, you stink. So we're gonna try to share this knowledge with as many people. So we're gonna follow the agenda as outlined here, and try to stay on schedule as much as we can. If there's a break for 15 minutes, there's a 15-minute break, and if you're gone, you're gone. And if you don't come back, you don't get a win. And then this afternoon, we'll be doing the deep dives. So the deep dives will be in different rooms, not in here, and you'll get your deep dive gear, a bag, a kit, whatever your deep dive calls for. The 3D printer one's right over here, in your class. So your little paper bags felt a little wimpy, and they were kind of just a carrier for vendor swag, but in your deep dive, you'll get real stuff. Okay, so we'll get those out, and they'll be emailed to you. All the boot camps had a paper copy, but we'll go on with that. So we have 4 different sessions. We have about hour-long, 55-minute sessions. We have a couple. Peter and Jerry and David and Wes will be doing our big ones. And then we have 30-minute sessions. We have 11 of those. For each of these, try to stay within your time. I'll have a timer down here so you can look down and see how much time you have left. If it starts flashing, you don't have very much time left. If it goes red, you have about 30, 60 seconds, and I'll, pull your mic. So stay within your time. So those are the 2 main presentations you might have seen in other conferences. We also have 10 talks, and part of the reason for the idea of 10 talks, I attended a conference and they had them. It's not TED, but it's like that. That's why we capitalize it. But they're just 10 minutes long, and they should be something like a 30-minute presentation that you squeeze into 10. So really dense. And if you don't like the 10 talk, just wait. 9 minutes later, you'll have a new one. So like if it's a really boring hour-long talk, you walk out and take phone calls. But they're designed to be quick and fast. And for those, when you're a 10 talk speaker, be ready. And if you see your name, let's say, Townie, you're Nan, you're number 9, sorry. And so when Dermot's speaking before you, when he starts, you should be in the back getting mic'd up. And so we'll just have you rotate right through. For presenters, we have a couple dongles. If you need USB-C, there's an HDMI cable up here, and you run your own presentations. There's no one babysitting you. And I'm sorry to say, you don't get a presenter page. So know your stuff. The confidence monitor here is exactly the same as the others. It is not your secondary display. Everybody gets to see the same stuff. So if you're used to that, go back to your room and practice so you can do it without your notes. Just a hint for those people who are doing that. And then we have deep dives. Now, deep dives came about because we started, and we had some little things where people said, I just need more information about this. Can we have some more time? Can we have hands-on? Can we get a kit that has really cool stuff? But I got cool stuff, but I don't know how to use it, so you could have someone teach me. And so over the years, we've increased the time. We now have 2 3-hour sessions. So this afternoon, you'll get 3 hours, and tomorrow you get 3 hours. And that's where you get a dive deep into the topic that you signed up for. The ones we have are here because you voted for them, and you voted and said, yeah, I would like to attend that. And so hopefully you all got your first one. Some of them ran out because we only had limited supply, but look forward to those this afternoon. Then tonight, we have WLPC After Dark, and this is where the vendors get to come and play. So right before lunch, I'm going to invite all the vendors, NatAlley, Ruckus, and Oversight, Ekahau, and MetaGeek, as well as the pub quiz, and we'll probably have Joel or Sam do the retro gaming, and just give you 1 minute, 2 minutes tops, just 1 minute to come up and say, tonight you have a free evening as attendees. You should come to my presentation because, and you don't have to repeat that sentence because everyone knows that. Just do the because part. So be ready, and you won't need to get mic'd up for that. We'll just pass the mic. Ooh, it does that. We'll just pass the mic between everyone for that. And so be ready right before lunch if you have an evening event to talk people into coming. The evening events are not sponsored by the conference. They're just the individual vendors or groups doing something that they want to do because all the attendees are here. It's up to the people doing a nighttime activity to take your time, to give you something worth spending your evening doing. Okay, so how to present. I shouldn't have to say this, but I do every year because I need to talk to people afterwards because they didn't do a very good job presenting. Your audience knows things. How many people here have CWNA? At least. Yeah. So if you try to teach someone something that's included in the CWNA, you're boring them. So don't back up and try to cover those topics. If it's an acronym and you want to use the acronym, maybe describe it once, short, just the words, and then use the acronym. We live in acronym land. We talk about it all the time. So we don't need to do all the prep. And especially for the 10 talkers, we know your name. You don't have to tell us about yourself. There is no intro. There is no setting the baseline, jump right in. So I really meant it. You should have prepared a 30-minute talk, and you're going to give it in 10, so cut out all the fluff. Okay. So one of the things you can do while you're here, and part of the reason we have everyone come, is that we want you to engage with each other. And some of you aren't on Twitter or Slack, sorry, and there's groups you can join, and the next slide I'm going to talk about one you can get involved in. But to get engaged with people, it's not that hard. Just ask a question. A fairly technical question might make it a little easier. If it's a newbie question, don't be afraid. Everyone has newbie questions. I took Devin's class this weekend for the 3rd time and still learned stuff. I've taken Peter's CW AP like 6 or 7 times because I still learn things and I teach the class. So asking questions, totally do it there. But here's the difference. If you ask someone a question on a social media platform, great. If they don't give you an answer, that's okay. You go do the research yourself. If they point you to a good place, that's just helpful. But do the research and then you write a blog. Yes, I said write a blog. Coleman gave us a presentation, I think he's done it twice now, on the value of writing. You're going to write a blog because you need the blog. Part of Tech Field Day is a bunch of bloggers and they get together and it's a wonderful system. But all the bloggers I've ever met have said the same thing. At some time, they've Googled a question they had and their own blog came up as the answer. I've done it many times myself. And you're like, oh, yeah, I forgot that. Yes, you forgot it because you wrote it down and you saved it and it's good for posterity and everyone's going to see it. And you can't keep everything in your head. Well, I definitely can't keep everything in my head. Yeah, talking about head. I used to have brown hair and then COVID came and it just went, so my apologies. I didn't age that much. I just look like I did. And then when you're done writing your blog, share it back to the community. That's the point. You're going to share it. Someone else is going to read it. They'll ask you a question, and you just rinse and repeat and do it over and over. The more you share, the more you'll get engaged and move on. So I mentioned there's a Slack group. Here it is, Wi-Fi Pro Slack. Go ahead and get your cameras out, take a picture of the barcode. If you want to join the Slack group, they're going to have yeah, Sam's over here. I want to join. Sam runs it. So Sam's got a presentation on the group, and he's going to tell you about how it works and the stats and how many people are using it. But it's a fairly active Slack. I recommend you try it. This is for self-registration, and please don't tweet it out or send it to others. It's just for attendees here. And then normally you would either hit May or Sam on a DM on Twitter, or the admin at Wi-Fi Pro's Slack. You got to get that extra S in there, or you can just use the little tiny URL, whichever you like. So join that, play along. This week, if you want to do any social media, it's just hashtag WLPC. No 2022, no 22, no, just WLPC, and feel free to share pictures, whatever you're doing. So we're here to have fun, but not just have fun, get engaged. If someone comes up to your group, open arms, let them in. Let's join as many people in as we can. And with that, I'm done talking, and it's Peter's turn. Peter, come on up.